This reaction is brought to you by my $5 or more patrons at patreon.com/AlexHeitz. I'd like to thank Andreas Gleisel, Big Chicken Time, Steph Newtown, Andrew Graff at HonkoVideo69 on Twitter, B Jabber, Chris Kilborn, Jason Bates, Mark Ventura, Matthew McLaughlin, Richard Willie, and Sam Gavshek for sponsoring this video, supporting me, my family, the channel. I appreciate it immensely, and I hope you all enjoy this video. We're getting into the good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, boy. So it's been a while since I've done any follow-ups. I'm kind of due for them, probably do them next week. So I haven't done a follow-up for any of the last Elliott Smith I did, the PJ Harvey album I did, or The Party's Over, which is the previous album I listened to. Party's Over is largely boring, but has some really cool, interesting elements to it, and some surprise, like, gothic post-punk flavors kind of splashed on there. It definitely has, like, a darker vibe than I was expecting it to, especially knowing It's My Life, Such a Shame, and then, you know, the stuff that came later, because I've reacted to their last two albums, and it definitely gets more pastoral, soft, serene, peaceful, and so to hear them in that, like, kind of darker place with The Party's Over was really fascinating. But we're moving on to the next album today, which should be a ton of fun to listen to. For those who don't know, I do unedited reactions at my Patreon, patreon.com/AlexHeitz. For $5 a month, you can get access to unedited reactions from Modest Mouse going forward. So I started doing them in April of 2021. And have about probably almost about 80 albums on there, unedited, and $5 a month gets you access to that back catalog. You can also hop in at the $1 a month level, and that gives you access to voting in polls that we do every 2 to 4 albums, every album reactions. Breaks up the monotony of going through the artist binges that we do. We get to just interject like a random miscellaneous album, the last of which was PJ Harvey's Rid of Me, which was a very entertaining, noisy rock album. So if you want to support the channel, that would be a great place to do it. Also, gotta shout out NordVPN. Link in the description for that. Fantastic VPN, great speeds, great prices. Just a fantastic service. Encrypt your data, access content from other countries, etc., etc. Affiliate link in the description for that. Is My Life. Man, I can't believe Talk Talk did a cover of the No Doubt song. That's really cool. So, The Party's Over was July of 82. This came out in February of 84. They were fairly prolific. They were putting out albums every couple of years. Almost like exactly. Like, I think there's a 3-year gap between Eden and Laughingstock, but every album was like 2 years apart and then just done. So, it should have this linked in the comments below. I have heard Such a Shame. I reacted to it. That'll be in the comments. I've heard It's My Life. It played at work. I worked at Safeway for 10 years. It played there all the time. As did the No Doubt version, actually. So I am just like dead tired of that song. I've never found it to be that enjoyable. It is interesting as far as, like, you know, an art pop piece goes. Talk Talk, Mark Hollis, all, you know, the whole gang, really good at painting very unique pictures and textures with their music. And It's My Life definitely has that in spades, just not quite my vibe. I don't know, I've never clicked with it, but we'll listen to it again here today. Everything else here, I don't know. Very unfamiliar with. I don't know if people don't necessarily talk about this album very much. People will talk way more about Color of Spring. But here, people just mostly talk about the 2 big singles, right? So I'm curious to see what the other tracks sound like. I expect to be moving closer. Like, Such a Shame definitely has that way more artistic, uniquely structured pop format that I know will kind of be that bridge into the post-rock stuff coming later. So, I don't know. Don't really have a whole lot to add. I think we're just going to go ahead and dive right on in with the first track, Dum Dum Girl.
Another sour, no regret.
Apparently, this is about a sex worker through the eyes of a man watching her. Dum Dum Girl isn't miserable. I just think of it as an anti-prostitution song. That's what it is, Mark Hollis quoted. Interesting. Definitely got that vibe from the other two tracks. And this was slightly present on Party's Over as well. Particularly the track Have You Heard the News? With like the interesting, when you go from like a verse to a pre-chorus or a bridge or whatever, like there's just an almost complete mood shift. And Such a Shame is a fantastic example of that as well. Which, speaking of Such a Shame, let's listen again.
Such a shame to believe. Maybe I don't know if I should change. I feel it's a shame. Not for me with rage. It's a shame. Tells me to react. I don't care. Maybe it's unkind.
You know, I didn't realize when I first heard that track that that looping, piano motif at the end there actually occurs at the end of the chorus when he ends the chorus with Such a Shame. Um, it's like so good, fantastic stuff. Always get super into that track whenever I hear it. All right, moving forward into unknown territory, we have Renee. This is 6.5 minutes.
Well, baby, hello. You are the same. All these people living up in my name. Renee. It's Jane. Renee. But the present you've been losing was you. Eloise, baby, held the string. Out of you, I don't know.
Interesting, kind of a slow burn kind of track there. Takes its time, very mood setting. Not bad. Not bad. Very straightforward, actually. Surprisingly simple as far as like composition goes for Talk Talk, but does the trick. Does the trick. All right, It's My Life. Like I said, not a huge fan of this track, but I'll listen closely. I'll try to vibe. I'll try to soak it in.
I found myself
So it's not like a bad song by any stretch of the imagination. I feel like Such a Shame is way better though. Um, and arguably I would say the chorus is the weakest part of the track. Um, but like again, like good texture, good synth texture, good vibe, has that kind of ethereal otherworld feel while also being kind of grounded and direct, which is kind of quintessential talk in a way, right? At least not the last two albums. Um, yeah, it's a fine track. It's a solid track. We flip the vinyl. We go to side B. Tomorrow Started.
I've said I'm right when I've been right. Tomorrow started. Just tomorrow started. Seem to be near. It's just tomorrow started. Tomorrow started.
Interesting. I will say it got a little like flat for me as it went on. Not as like Renee, I feel like deserved the length. Um, as far as like being a mood setter, this didn't quite have it as much. But maybe if you cut out like a bit of the repetition, um, like part of the instrumental and coming back to the chorus, maybe it would have been a bit better. But all in all, not bad. Again, still very straightforward. I feel like they were toying with stuff a little bit more on Parties Over. Actually, this feels a little bit more like I don't want to say basic, but more direct synth pop than what was on Parties Over, and will probably be on Color of Spring. But I don't know. We still have 4 tracks left to go, so anything could happen. The Last Time.
Jealousy is gone. The shadow. Pain is quiet. Let the show begin.
Arguably the most straightforward pop song I've ever heard from Talk Talk. Wow. Um, that just like reeked of like other bands around this era. I don't know. Would you say Tears for Fears? I'm not sure. Maybe a little OMD in there. Definitely some OMD. Interesting. Solid track. Again, I was just not expecting this to be way more like grounded. Um, like this has been like I was expecting more of like Such a Shame and It's My Life, right? Where it's like just a little denser, complicated, a little unexpected in some ways, as a way to lead into Color of Spring more. But like Renee, Tomorrow Started, The Last Time, even Dum Dum Girl, to some extent, has been simple. I don't want to say simple. That does it a disservice, but I don't know. Maybe you guys understand where I'm coming from. Not a complaint, just a surprise. Okay, 3 tracks left. Call in the Night Boy. We need him. irony. I'm like, wow, very straightforward. Jeez, it's like, you know, the normal pop stuff. And then, man, that was wild. I don't even know if I liked it. I can't tell. That was a trip. Ugh, Mark, dang it. Does Caroline know? Just a reference, just a Beach Boys reference.
It's the way you found. Better if I can say Caroline,
You know, I don't quite know how to describe it with this album, but there's definitely something missing. Um, a similar thing that was missing from The Party's Over. Um, like Such a Shame isn't missing it. I would say It's My Life is not missing it. Um, I don't quite know how to describe it. Maybe you guys have a better feel on it than I do. Because it's like, I don't want to say it's boring, because that's not what it is. It's not dull. Um, it just lacks, some of these tracks I think lack hooks. Um, they don't function super well as pop songs, I think is kind of the thing. Um, I don't know, but like for as often as Talk Talk is able to swing and hit, you're gonna probably expect that they're able to swing and miss with how unique of a space they're operating in, right? I don't know. Like Calling the Night Boy was wild. This one felt this similar. I felt similar to Tomorrow Started. It's just kind of like my mind glazed over a little bit as I was listening to it, and I don't quite know why, because I think it was interesting. Anyway, we have one track left, and then we will be done. It's You. What a cool outro. Um, Part of what I love about Such a Shame is like I mean, he does this often in his tracks. I wouldn't say often, but does it enough for it to be notable. Just gets like really into it. Like, number me with hate. Um, Same thing here. Like, I love when he like belts it out and there's like this, I would say aggression, just intensity and passion behind it. Um, and that was definitely here. I totally warmed up to that track as it went along. Um, okay, so I think it's overall better than The Party's Over, because it has like, so with The Party's Over, there was a handful of tracks I thought were interesting. I thought the title track was the most interesting one, But even that one doesn't hold a candle to Such a Shame or even It's My Life, in my opinion. I think It's You is also a phenomenal track. The only ones I didn't vibe with on here were maybe Tomorrow Started and Does Caroline Know. Dum Dum Girl and Last Time were fine pop songs. Renée was interesting. Call the Night Boy was wild. So yeah, this is definitely an improvement, a mild one, because we have, I would say, 3 notable tracks here. Such a Shame, It's My Life, and It's You, I think is notable. With the shout outs to the pop songs, like I said. So definitely a step up. Probably not going to be anywhere on par with Color of Spring from what I've heard from people. Man, I'm so excited to listen to that. Which do we have to do a poll album in between that? No, we don't. Oh yeah, we're going all the way through, baby. Look at that. Color of Spring will be next time for sure. Yeah, so this was fine. Definitely didn't have like the strength of some of their later stuff all the way through the board, but it's definitely an improvement, a mild improvement from The Party's Over, and I'm glad I listened to the whole thing, because otherwise I wouldn't have heard some of these tracks that I think are pretty solid. So It's My Life, done. Decent album. Really excited to get to Color of Spring next. Okay, that's it. That's all I got, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Things to plug, patreon.com/AlexHeitz. Like I said at the front of the video, $5 a month access to unedited reactions, of which this is one of them. $1 a month access to voting in polls. Also got to shout out the Discord, link in the description for that. Got about 175, 180 members over there. Just discussions about, music, Topster charts, memes, stuff all over the board. Nice little community of people over there. So if you want to join the community of people who like to watch me listen to things, that's where you do it. All right. That's all, everybody. Pretty simple reaction today. Pretty straightforward, but I'm glad I did it. As always, tell me what you think in the comments about this album. And if my reaction was spot on. It's not. Some people say, like, hey, Alex, I watched your review of Joy Division. And I'm like, it wasn't a review. It was a reaction. Like, it's really, like, a review implies that you view it again, right? I don't know. Just, I don't, these are first impressions, first reaction, right? And that's why I do follow-ups after the fact, is like, that's kind of my review later on after all the dust and emotions have settled. So anyway, that's it. Color of Spring coming up in a couple weeks. Should be fun, should be exciting. And until then, thank you all for watching, and Godspeed.